Up from here is the visit to the Mayan family. And before we get there, I would like to say a few things. If you want to take any pictures, it's okay, it's not a problem. In some places, for example, the Maya in Chiapas, they don't like pictures because they believe it would be like stealing their soul. This is not the case. So if you want to take any pictures, it's okay, it's not a problem. You can take pictures. Feel free to go into their homes. I know that this is kind of hard for us to understand because we wouldn't like 50 strangers coming into our homes. But we have to see it as a different culture that it is. Not with our preconceptions, but through their eyes. And the best way I can explain this is somebody asked me once to ask them how do they feel about you coming here. And the answer that we got from this lady was, I like it a lot because when they come here I get to spend some time with them. Other than them, I never go out of this town. And I really never thought it that way, but it's true. Many people in these towns, they live in this town, they die in this town without seeing anything else. Now obviously this is changing and getting more accessible to move around, but still there's people who live all their lives in here. So instead of traveling, like you're doing right now, the traveling is coming to them. And they get to see something different. That different day, somebody else gave a disposable camera to a kid, and the kid was taking pictures of the tourists. So as well as you see something different again, they also see something different. It's a cultural exchange. And usually, cultural exchange accelerates the progress or the change. But in this case, it's actually working to preserve the culture or the traditions because they are gathering everything that they still have of their traditions to show it to you. So maybe not for the best reasons, but somehow it's being preserved. Like how to make the tortillas, handmade tortillas, or the traditional dresses, or the hammocks. Well, the hammock, for the record, is not Maya. It was introduced after the Spanish with the trading, but they've been using the hammock ever since. So all these things, they are preserving it to show it to you. So again, it is working to preserve the culture. I mentioned before, I don't like to say if you want to help these people, if something help, because help is the wrong concept. Again, it's just trying to preserve the culture. They have everything that they may need and more. And the best proof of that is that you will see houses made on sticks and palm leaves. And we usually see a house made on sticks and palm leaves and we think they're poor. But then you have a satellite dish on the side. You go into their homes and you have TV, really big stereos. And believe me, big stereos. There's one house, not in this town, in a different town. And you see the house, sticks and palm leaves. You go in, and the whole wall is a piece of furniture. The TV in the center, which is a decent TV, like 21 inch or so. But then all around it is all speakers. I counted 14 speakers plus the subwoofer. So they have everything that they need and more. So never ever think that just because of the way they build their houses, they're poor. Okay, we have again this wrong concept of poverty. Poverty would be not having a shelter, not having something to wear, not having something to eat. They do have all of these and more again. On the right hand side, we just passed the elementary school. We're just about to see this white building with green stripes that has the radio antenna. That is the healthcare clinic. Now about schooling and healthcare. Schooling, it's a little bit complicated in these towns because the government cannot afford to have schools in every single town. So what they do is probably over 90% of the towns have elementary school up to grade 6. Then about 60% of the towns would have mid-school up to grade 12. That means the kids have to commute back and forth the towns. And university, it's only in the cities. So they would have not to commute back and forth, but to move into the city. And that implies paying a rent, feeding, just to go to study. So it's most of the time they study until get to mid-school. And this is where, when it applies, the thing with the TV educational channel countrywide for the mid-school, because if you cannot have schools for every town, never mind the teachers. The healthcare. You saw the healthcare clinic back there. And the healthcare, that one was a clinic just for basic needs. That means vaccination, routine checks, dental care, family planning information, optics. If they need anything more serious, then they would have to go to the hospital in the city, still free, but then sometimes it's just the getting there, the problem. So it's healthcare clinic in this case is more prevention than healing, so that they don't get to the point that they need to go to the hospital, and sometimes again they wouldn't be able to. This is run by the government. If they don't have healthcare clinics, they would have mobile units run by the government as well that come to these towns like a minibus or something with all these things for vaccination, optics, dental care, etc., etc. And they come to these towns quite often to do all these things in these towns. However, we have to remember that this is a very ancient culture, and that means they have traditional medicine, and most of the times the traditional medicine is actually sometimes more effective than the pills that we take. In fact, most of the pills that we take are pretty much synthesized from nature. So they have traditional medicine, they have healthcare clinic as well, they have schooling, they have all these things, and again, they have everything they need plus more.